years ago I understood that my love for playing the piano, my enjoyment, was interfered with when I became serious about studying how to play the piano. And that was true with playing the cello too. When I wanted to know how I was playing, my love for playing the cello was interfered with. And also I remember a lady saying, I think it was in an interview, she said, my enjoyment of playing the piano ceased once I became a professional. So as an amateur, she just loved playing the piano. But when she became a professional, her playing had to be more disciplined, I expect. More formalized, or whatever the word is. And the pleasure of playing ceased. So in both of these instances, what I'm saying is we were losing our connection to God, because God is love, God is happiness, God is pleasure, God is joy, God is ecstatic. And as soon as this seriousness takes over, as soon as ego gets in and wants to control and wants to formalize everything, then God can be lost and forgotten. And that's, I assume, is what happened with Adi Dar. He lost the bride because ego got in the way. He wanted to re-find it. Well, due to him, I was able to re-find my love for playing the cello and the piano and the composers. Because love has nothing whatsoever to do with technique. Though one could love technique. You could learn the technique of doing something when you're in that place of love too. But to separate technique from the love of playing is often what happens. So Adi Dar was able to write all these books and explain what everyone is up to as egos very easily, very clearly and succinctly and matter of fact. He was able to write so many books as if it was the recipes for disaster, recipes for living a life of unlove like a clenched fist. Everything was, laid out in a particular order. But every so often, at the end of these essays or talks, he would say, you need to turn to God. Just keep turning to God. And then he would say, I am God, or this guru is God. Turn to me and go beyond the image of me. Go beyond my bodily human form. Feel the Spirit, feel God, feel happiness, feel joy. And that's what I'm about. And I'm graced, and I'm blessed to be lived by God and to be given the understanding that's required for one to do so. And there's various books on for children to learn the piano from. And there was this one series, the Michael Aaron books, which are full of happiness and joy and pictures and beautiful laid out music, and all that, which I loved teaching from, and I loved playing the pieces myself. But then there's this other series by Fanny Waterman, who began the Leeds Piano Festival. And they were very rigid, and this is the page to learn now before getting around to that page, and every step was a new technical consideration, and more difficult each piece progressed. But they weren't the happy pieces of the Michael Aaron books. And I found that I thought I had to use the Fanny Waterman books because they were up there, by studying her books, you had more chance of becoming a participant in all the big competitions compared with the Michael Aaron books. So these examples have served me, haven't they? Otherwise I wouldn't be sharing them with you now. They have served my understanding. Commitment to life, as Adidar says, with a capital L. And that's what it's about. Happiness and joy is committing oneself to life with a capital L. And if I have to keep turning to the bodily human form of Adidar for the rest of my life, so be it. It works, so why go elsewhere? Well, I also use the pictures of Ramana Maharshi and Muktananda and people like that, and Jesus. There aren't any actual photos of Jesus. But they're all reminders of the awakened state. Though Adidar claims to be the seventh stager, whereas the others he claims to be less. So be it. Right now, I am enlightened. That's all that matters. It's in the moment. He says you shouldn't get out of bed unless you're enlightened, unless you're with me. Why dramatize this? Why? Fall in love with me. Fall out of love with this nonsense. Then you'll find you're on good terms with everyone you meet. There's no attacking anyone. You simply are embracement. Thank you for listening. God bless. And may you realize the accessibility of God right now. God is accessible right now. Happiness, joy, delight, peace is accessible right now. Duh. Yes, I think people would do well to be pissed off by me. Duh.